Welcome to the channel, everyone. My name is Nick. For those that are new to the channel, hopefully by the end of this video, you do become a subscriber. So we already know at this point that the case is officially over, but Ripple recently did make a post over on X highlighting the fact that Brad Garlinghouse did announce that the SEC will abandon its appeal against Ripple and what this really means. So even if we go over here to their website, they did mention that this is a historic victory, because it is, right? Like, this is history in the making. This case should have never have been announced at all. This should have never even been a thing. But if we actually look at this, they said that today marks a historic victory for Ripple, our employees and customers, and for the entire crypto industry. After more than 4 years of litigation, the SEC will drop its appeal against Ripple, concluding the SEC's 4+ year long lawsuit. This is subject to commission vote and approval. Now, outside of that, if we really think about what this means, we could go on and on about how this is great for Ripple and it's great for XRP in terms of price action, but that's not the focus, okay? In fact, I don't even care about the price action. What I mainly look at when it comes to this is what this actually means for Ripple and XRP. Because what happens next is why we were waiting 4 years for this. What do I mean? I am focused on adoption. I'm focused on use. I'm focused on the moves made by Ripple going forward now. Because what this actually means is we are about to witness significant adoption. We are about to witness XRP being completely unleashed around the institutional side of crypto. There is nothing holding XRP back at this point. And on top of that, okay, there is nothing holding Ripple back from expanding rapidly in the US market. I am very, very bullish on this. Now, to highlight this, we look at RLUSD. LMAX Group digital clients can now access Ripple USD RLUSD stablecoin. This expansion of our institutional trading infrastructure to include RLUSD continues to highlight our commitment to provide institutions with efficient and transparent market access to the most liquid assets. Now, we have witnessed many of these announcements, but the main focus here is the market around RLUSD expanding more and more and more. And when everything starts to heat up, RLUSD is going to be extremely liquid and it's going to be adopted in a big way. But LMAX Group is the leading independent operator of institutional execution venues for FX and digital assets. And that's my focus here. Because I do think that we can start talking about the next thing, the big important focus around why this case was a big suppression and obstacle for XRP and Ripple. But now what it really means going forward, which is we look at FX markets, we look at the cross-border payments market, we look at institutional adoption, we look at the NDAs, we look at ETFs, we look at all of the things that were kind of just held up because of this lawsuit. And even over here, if we go back to February, okay? Rowan Exchange posted this. We have Ripple's new promo video just released. We have a new look in our products on our website, and right here on social, we're building for the next chapter with the vision that continues to drive us. And you know what's crazy about this? This is talking about the internet of value and transforming the way you move value around the world. And 20 seconds into this, we have this image. So we have the dollar, the yen, XRP, Bitcoin. And you know what's the biggest thing that I want to focus on here is the connections back to FX. Okay? We look at the FX market in a big way because of its significance in the world, but the $7.5 trillion per day that it moves. But what I find very interesting about this image that's included in this video is the dollar, which is RLUSD. We already have RLUSD. We don't have RL yen, and we also don't have RL rupee either, which is the last icon there. But what we do have is some significant moves being made by Ripple around the euro, around the pound, and those aren't even included in this image. So what is Ripple's goal here? What are they looking into doing now that they have a clean slate? Let's go over here to this video. This is back in the beginning of February. The amount of inbound customers we have asking about tokenization is astounding. This is a Ripple employee explaining how Ripple custody paired with their global FX banking payout network creates the perfect infrastructure for tokenized markets. So now think about this. Ripple is now completely, clean. XRP completely clean. They already have RLUSD tokenized, which is just tokenized USD on chain, basically. And they're talking about the FX market, which they have 90% of that FX market already under their belt. Check this out.
Well, I agree. I think using example of custody, with Ripple Custody, formerly known as Medico, it's working with large institutions and making sure that they can scale. We have tremendous coverage of some of the largest financial institutions in Europe, be it DBS, HSBC, BBVA, Switzerland, and they're trusting us to come in, not only provide custody, but allow them to tokenize and pull it together in one package. So scale is going to happen when some of this fragmentation that we talk about it kind of is removed. We almost want this. We almost want this to be kind of boring. It should be really clear. It's not like taking a front seat and you spend half the time you meet with a customer just explaining the technology and why they shouldn't be worried about it, but you're really focusing on the benefits, the real world utility that the solution brings. And without that, it's going to be, it's a slog. And I do feel it's getting better. Again, the amount of inbound requests we're getting to meet with large institutions around tokenization products is just astounding vis-a-vis a year ago. And I think being able to again bring those things together in a very kind of frictionless way is what's really going to allow the real scale to thrive.
And even over here, from the recent Tokenized podcast, we have, here's how stablecoins flip FX on chain. Everyone's focused on crypto trading and meme coins, but regulated stablecoins are quietly building the rails for a $7 trillion per day market. The unlock just makes sense. Multiple currency stablecoins, multi-chain, same time settlement layer. This creates FX at internet speed. The blueprint, regulated issuers put real currencies on chain. DeFi gets institutional guardrails. TradFi plugs into permission protocols. It's not about replacing FX. It's about upgrading its operating system. Same trust, better technology. The next wave isn't about speculation, and stablecoins are that bridge. And remember that this is from the head of crypto at Visa on this Tokenized podcast. And this is all highlighting why this case was such a big focus. Now that this case is basically done, we look at the FX market. We look at the things that Ripple can now do with their stablecoin and stablecoins that potentially could be launched soon, with XRP being a bridge between all of this. Check this out.
And then once you have more stablecoins representing many different currencies, then you start to see on-chain FX. And I think we are just scratching the surface around, if you have credible regulated issuers, putting currencies, on chain that are all running on the same blockchain that can then start to use the same DeFi primitives that, people traditionally only used for meme coins and kind of other types of, crypto assets. Now those primitives can be hardened, can be institutionalized, can have the right, permissions around them, and then can be used, for next generation instant, 24/7, FX markets. And I think that that's a massive opportunity.
Now, you want to know what's crazy about this? Is this post over here from Wrath of Kahneman. Look at this. Interesting paper. Regulatory Clarity in XRP, The Path to Global Institutional Stablecoin Adoption by an emeritus finance professor from Marquette, not carried by a journal, sees the Genius Act as a very positive for RLUSD and therefore XRP. While the SEC litigation, which is now finished, remains an obstacle, Ripple's state-level licensing victories and RLUSD's compliance under the Genius Act position XRP as a bridge between traditional finance and blockchain innovation. These factors collectively affirm the thesis. XRP's embedded utility, regulatory progress, and relationship with stablecoins reinforce its status as a pioneering functional cryptocurrency contingent upon resolving legal ambiguities, which, again, they're already done, and scaling competition. So when we think about what's actually going on here, okay, we look at the FX market because of how significant it is, how big it is, but we are now starting to see compliance becoming a focus, regulatory moves being made to make sure that those that are compliant are the winners. Ripple, XRP, the XRPL, and RLUSD are all going to benefit greatly because of regulatory clarity. And not only that, but we are now starting to see stablecoin legislation being adopted in the US. This is because the US also is aware of how big this technology is becoming. Stablecoins are one of the biggest things in this space, and they're growing massively, hitting trillions and trillions of dollars per year in value moved. This is all highlighting the Internet of Value, which Ripple has always set their eyes on basically becoming a reality. And they've been on that mission for well over a decade now. And what's crazy is that we have every single major fiat currency out there looking at going digital. Digital Euro Association, who's a member? Ripple. You have the Digital Pound Foundation as well, who's a member? Ripple. They even said RLGBP, has a nice ring to it back in December. Also, Ripple just accelerated a big move in Europe. They're accelerating crypto adoption in Europe with their recent launch of Ripple payments in Portugal with Unicambio. This is a big one. Again, looking at digital asset adoption itself and how this can disrupt payments in a huge way. But also, European Central Bank, the digital euro, is not just about creating a new form of money. It's about ensuring that Europe retains control over its monetary and financial destiny in the digital age against the backdrop of increasing geopolitical fragmentation. Again, even right now around, geopolitics, we look at the trade war. The trade war is accelerating and actually heating up digital currency adoption. Every single major nation now is looking at launching a stablecoin. This highlights how big Ripple is becoming. This also highlights how big Ripple will be in, say for so a year or 2 years, where almost every single nation has their own digital currency or their, digital representative of, their FX currency, if you will. But on top of that, we look at Digital Pound Foundation, which recently talked about how the Bank of England and the HM Treasury are actively exploring the feasibility of a digital pound. And this goes all the way back to, January of this year. All of these big players out there are looking at launching a digital currency. So you got to think about it, right? Digital euro's coming. The digital pound is going to become a reality as well. The dollar is already tokenized on chain. There's many, dollar stablecoins already. We look at what's going on around the world. FX is moving on chain. Even Japan. Nomura Laser Digital GMO Internet partner for Japanese stablecoins. This happened back in May of last year. So the digital yen is going to become a reality. And it's only a matter of time until stablecoins become a $1 trillion plus market. They even said that by 2028, the stablecoin market is going to go from 220 billion to 2.8 trillion. That's in 3 years. This is how FX moves on chain. And the fact that this SEC case is now basically finished, what do you think happens with Ripple going forward? Ripple is going to become a household name around the institutional space, but also they are going to start to launch even more stablecoins. You're going to see RL yen, RL euro, RL, pound. I've been talking about this for months now because guys, we keep looking at a use case that will drive the value of XRP to, becoming a $50 coin or a $100 coin. The FX market is a perfect example of how we get there. $7 trillion per day. Do you know how big that would be to just grasp like 10% of that? Even 1% of a $7 trillion per day market would be insane. That's how you have these high valued digital assets off of just like one use case. And this is becoming this is actually happening now. Even though a lot of people will say like, oh, you always say that it's happening now, but where's the growth? Guys, we already have multiple stablecoins on chain. We already have so much happening around, the digital currency revolution. CBDCs have been talked about for years now. And what is it, like 98% of central banks now looking into CBDCs? And a lot of those nations that are actually looking into a CBDC, they're already kind of flipping to stablecoins, because again, now stablecoins are like the big thing. Everyone's talking about stablecoins. Even the US, they're banning CBDCs, but they're looking into stablecoins, which is basically the same thing. But this is exactly how we get to FX moving on chain. FX on chain, $7 trillion per day. The networks that will dominate this are going to be like XRP, right? The XRP ledger, Hedera. The most efficient networks that can handle something at scale are the winners here. And the ones that are actually compliant, that are, working with regulators. I'm telling you guys, you want to focus on this because this is a complete game changer. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because I'm more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. And with that being said, guys, this is Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.